I wanted to give a thank you to a young lady in Atlanta. Years ago, I can't remember if I was on Ponce de Leon going into Eats or if I was in Little 5 Points, but I met a young lady who had on a beautiful shirt like this one, and it was so nice. I couldn't believe how cute it was. So I asked her where she had gotten it from, and she told me that she made it. She told me it was a t-shirt, and I didn't understand. And she actually pulled me aside and showed me the 2 arms and everything, because trust me, when you go outside in this, people will not think it's a t-shirt. And it's also great for in the summertime if you spend the night over at a friend's house and you don't have a change of clothes for the next day. You can always ask to borrow a t-shirt, and when they see you walking out of there, they're going to be like, where did you get this lovely tube top from? Trust me, it works. So now on to the gele. Here we go. What we have is 2 yards of fabric. Now this is not sewn, it's unprocessed. As a matter of fact, it has raw edges. Do you see that? It has raw edges, and it's just a piece of fabric 2 yards long. That'll be enough to give you the crown height that you need. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the corner of the fabric and we're going to bend a little triangle into it. Do you see the triangle? The only thing you need to do is to make sure that that triangle is about the circumference of your head. So you fold that triangle into it. You see that? And you can choose any corner you want. And this part is actually going to go in the back of your head. So what we're going to do is you're going to bend your head down, and you're going to take, you see the triangle, and you're going to put that onto the back of your head. And this one is a little bit longer than my forehead. I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller. Just decrease it a little bit. I mean, you can make it longer. You can make it as short as you want. I personally go for the one that's about the same size as my head, because that gives me the tightness that I need, and it just works out for you. You just bend your back and you look downward, and you take this, you're going to wrap this around your head and make the two ends of the triangle meet up in the front of your head. So we're going to go like this. And this one goes about the size of where my right eyebrow is. And then the other one comes across, and I layer it on top, so that it ends up about right here, right before my ear, a little bit further past my eyebrow. So let me do that again, because this actually goes by very quickly once you get the hang of it. And you can experiment with it. Do it as many times as you need to get it. I'm going to show you. Here we go. So, and then you wrap that. I grab onto a piece in the front, and I grab onto it really tight and swing it to the other side. Now this is the part that's going to become the top of your crown. So let me sit down right here. I'm holding on to a piece that I wrapped onto from the other side, right? And I am looking for, because since I started it on an angle, it's hanging on an angle, so I'm looking for the longer part of the cloth to fold under, and I just pull it around to the side, and I feel for the part that's the longest. Do you see how the cloth, do you see that? You see that when it hangs down, this part right here is the longer part. So I'm feeling for a part that's going to give me some length, because I'm actually going to continue to wrap this around until I can tuck it in. So I need the longest piece as possible. So I go and I wrap it around again. You see, this is the bottom part of the triangle, the longest piece right there, which I've saved outside of the wrap. And then now that I've wrapped it around again, I'm going to take this and tuck it into any of the folds on it. Okay. Now, do you see that? Some people, I wrap mine around my forehead. Some people, you can push it back, and you don't have to worry. This is on there very tight. You can dance. You can do your African Lafayette. You can do whatever you need to do. You can trust me. This is an African head wrap. You can see it does it does not come off. You don't worry. You do what you need to do in it. It doesn't come off, so you don't have to worry. You can do everything that you need to do with your gele arm. So I'm going to show you that one more time. And the best part about it is it comes out so easily. So here we are, and you don't have to have long hair. You don't have to have long locks, as you can imagine. Because you see me, I have a TWA, which in the world of naturality is a teeny weeny afro. So you see I have very short hair. So it doesn't really matter. I think that the texture of your hair does help it stay on. Like the curlier your hair is, I think that helps somehow. I'm not exactly sure. So here I'm going to do it one more time for you guys. The triangle. I'm going to show you guys from the other side how it's done. Alright. Just so you can see from the other side what's going on here. So here's my triangle, which is about the length of my head, and I pull it. I'm pulling this fabric very tight because the tighter it is, the more secure it will be on your head. So I have the cloth. I'm holding it right here, see? And I'll show you on this side. This is the cloth that I'm holding. So I'm holding that cloth, and I'm just going to bring it around to the other side, and I'll show you what it looks like in the back. See, this is the cloth I'm holding right here. And I'm searching for the part that's longer, because you'll feel it when you're doing it. So I found the longer piece. And I do it like this because I like to have an elevated crown. I like my crown to go a little higher in the ear. So the first wrap is the part that's going to end up in the middle. And then you build up from there. And this is and you see, you fold it and you make it yours. You do it how you want to. This is the way that I used to wear it in high school, a little bit shorter, but as I've gotten older, I like it to be a little higher. So I'm going to take that out. And that's the thing. Listen, it's your crown. You are the queen. You choose a style that works for you. When I was in college, I used to wrap it into a little ball on top and then wrap the rest of it around my forehead and just hold it that way. So it's your crown. You are the queen. You wear it how you want to. So I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to try to get that elevation up a little bit higher. And remember, that happens in the first wrap. The stuff that's up on the height of it happens the first time you swing it around. So here we go. Finding that place on the forehead, wrapping it down, and here I am. Now, in order to get the elevation that I want, I'm going to lift that fabric up. I'm feeling for my longer piece, and here we go. This part is the part that's going to be the part in the middle. See that? Now that becomes the part in the middle. That's about the height that I want it. So now all I have to do is build around it, because I like that. I like the Nefertiti effect, and I'll show you what I mean in a moment. See, I'm looking for the, see, this is the longer part of the triangle, and that's the part that's going to get tucked in. So when I'm fooling around with it over here, and you see me grabbing, I'm grabbing for the longer part, because that's going to be the last part that tucks in, and everything else is going to add to the body of my wrap. Because you pretty much control the design of your wrap and how it comes out in this stage. You can and like I said, it's yours, so you experiment with it. You experiment with what looks best with your features, how high you feel comfortable taking it, how low you want it, how wide, what's the width that you prefer, etc., etc. And you do it how you want to. And this is, I like mine to come out a little bit more. I like it to be a little bit wider at the top because I like that Nefertiti look, the look that goes from being small by the forehead to being, you know what, I'm going to start the whole thing over because sometimes it's really hit or miss. You know, sometimes you do it and you love it the first time. Sometimes it takes 3 or 4 times. You do it how you want to and until you feel comfortable with how it looks. See this part right here, you can fill in the contours with fabric as you go up and around. Okay. And there's one piece of cloth right there doing its own thing. Just push that in. I mean, it's yours. You do with it as you want to. So me personally, I like the Nefertiti look, the slender right here, and going up into a sort of triangular shaped crown. It's more slender around the base, and then it goes out up towards the elevation, much like the almighty Queen Nefertiti. I personally prefer that look for my head wraps. I put mine across the middle part of my forehead, but you can always push it back. You can push it back to your baseline, your hairline, or whatever you feel most comfortable with. It's pretty sturdy on there. Like I said, you can do anything that you need to in this. You can jump. You can do everything that you need. You can do your African dance. You can do your... You can... You can do all of that. So have no fear about that. This thing will not come off your head until you're ready for it to come off. Okay, so now for the jewelry. Subscribe today. Be sure to leave a comment. Rate it now. TanyaTKO.com. You know what? I always say, if you're going to make a statement, make a statement. Don't halfway make a statement. You make that statement.